office of Speaker of the House of the United States House of Representatives is hereby declared vacant.
For the first time in U.S. history, the House has voted to oust its Speaker. What it means and how our local representatives voted on Kevin McCarthy.
Plus, we are learning more about the man shot and killed by a security guard in North Spokane over the weekend.
They by far spent the most time out here riding, definitely have the most laps around this track.
Tonight, those who knew him are talking with KREM 2.
Last night's rain showers turned into today's sunshine, and we're looking at a warm-up for the next few days. How long it could last.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at 5. I'm Whitney Ward.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Mark Hanrahan. I want to get to some breaking news at this hour. Republican Kevin McCarthy has just said he will not run for the Speaker of the House again. Just a few hours ago, the House voted to oust him from that role. For the first time in U.S. history, the House of Representatives voted to remove its Speaker.
So this historic vote was 216 to 210. Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz had filed the motion yesterday to remove McCarthy after the Speaker had turned to Democrats to help pass a short-term spending bill to keep the government open.
The thing we have in common, Kevin McCarthy said something to all of us at one point or another that he didn't really mean and never intended to live up to.
In the end, 8 Republicans joined Democrats to vote against McCarthy. The House cannot proceed on any other issue until a new Speaker is elected, including working on a long-term spending bill to keep the government open. The House is now in recess as they try to figure out who will run to be the next Speaker of the House.
Here's how our local representatives voted this afternoon. Representative Kathy McMorris-Rogers voted to keep McCarthy. She came out in favor of his speakership earlier this afternoon, writing on Twitter, quote, "Under Speaker McCarthy's leadership, the People's House has been focused on solutions for the hardworking people of this country."
And we are going to continue our coverage of this historic breaking news coming up on the CBS Evening News at 5:30 and also on KREM 2 News at 6.
Taking a look at our other top stories tonight, 1 person was hurt, 2 animals are dead after an apartment fire in Spokane Valley.
That fire started around 6 this morning. Spokane Valley firefighters say the person hurt has only minor injuries.
Firefighters say that fire was contained to the original apartment. It is under investigation tonight.
Turning now to other Northwest news, the man accused of abducting a woman in Seattle and holding her hostage in a makeshift cinder block cell in Oregon has now been charged in a separate case.
Nagasi Zuberi has been indicted on 11 charges of kidnapping and raping another woman in southern Oregon back in May, 2 months before the Seattle case. The indictment also alleges Zuberi used or threatened to use weapons against the victim. Zuberi goes on trial later this month on federal kidnapping charges in the case involving the Seattle woman.
Happening tonight, the Spokane NAACP is hosting a candidate forum at the Central Library downtown.
Mayoral candidates Nadine Woodward and Lisa Brown will be both participating tonight. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk is live downtown tonight previewing the event. Kyle?
Well, yeah, Mark, here we are just 35 days away from the November election and an hour away from tonight's candidate forum. Now, we understand tonight we'll start with a town hall with Betsy Wilkerson. She's running for city council president. Now, her challenger, Kim Please, was invited to the event but told organizers she would not be able to attend. So first you're going to have Betsy Wilkerson, and then around 7:15 mayoral candidates Nadine Woodward and Lisa Brown will take the stage and take questions from a panel on a number of topics. KREM 2 is honored to be part of this. Our own chief journalist Amanda Rowley and digital producer Jordy Blaine will be part of the forum, and you'll also be able to listen to the event live on KYRS radio beginning at 6 p.m. and of course we'll bring you all the highlights tonight on KREM 2 News 10 and 11. Reporting live from the downtown library, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. Let's switch gears and talk weather with KREM 2's Cody Proctor tonight as sunshine returned to the inland Northwest this afternoon.
We are loving it. And Cody, it looks like it's shaping up to be a beautiful week, pretty much all week, even into the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I keep saying over and over again that if you have outdoor plans this weekend, it's going to be a great one. And if you don't have plans to spend time outdoors this weekend, you probably should, because things are going to be changing. But let's talk about the near future. We have been seeing this ridge of high pressure moving in, and that is looking to bring us some clearer skies and warmer temperatures for the next few days. Strong possibility we could reach up into the 70s by the time we get into Friday and towards the weekend. Even right now, we're seeing quite a bit of sunshine. And the carousel going on as well too over at Riverfront Park. Gorgeous at this moment. Temperatures over the Spokane Airport are at 67 degrees right now. Winds are coming out of the west at 8 miles per hour at this time. This is right about on par for what our seasonal average is for this time of year. Temperatures around the region, you can already see some of us are actually in those 70s. That includes Wenatchee and Moses Lake. Others mostly hanging out into those 60s, including Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint. Meanwhile, we are seeing some breezy conditions around Wenatchee, so that's something that's happening right now. Others, looks like we're seeing some lighter wind speeds. For the next 12 hours, expect to see temperatures start to cool down as we head into tomorrow morning. Looks to start things off for your Wednesday morning into those low 50s. But over the next 3 days, tomorrow could see us in the upper 60s. Same with Thursday, and there's a strong possibility Friday could also bring us into those upper 60s, low 70s with lots of sunshine. But what goes up will likely have to come down, and we're watching our next change in our weather pattern as we head into next week. More on that is in your full forecast.
All right, Cody, thank you. And now to a developing story as the motocross community is grieving one of its own.
Early this morning, the medical examiner released the identity of a man killed in a shooting over the weekend after deputies say he and his son got into an altercation with a security guard on federal land.
Police say it ended with that security guard shooting both of them. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy has the new developments tonight.
We have now confirmed that John Franklin was the man shot and killed Saturday by a security guard. That's according to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. But that still leaves many unanswered questions for the motocross community Franklin was closest to. In the shadow of mountains, piles of dirt are trucked into an otherwise quiet motocross park in Airway Heights, preparing another ride for Josh Hitchens' family.
We're one big family. We all care about each other, so it's a pretty big deal.
A big deal. It'll be the first ride without John Franklin, one of the fixtures of Airway Motocross Park. Hitchens says for the 9 years he's run this place, John was here.
Riding dirt bikes, that's what we do out here.
Franklin and his sons would come out nearly every weekend on the dirt hours before anyone else.
Walk the track, check the track out, help water, pick rocks.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office reports Franklin was approached by a security guard Saturday, suspected of trespassing on federal land near Bonneville Power Administration.
Didn't really know what happened. We just saw a picture of their truck. Everybody recognized it. I actually text John immediately, just saying, you know, there's some crazy stuff going around and hope you guys are okay. You know, not even knowing that, you know, that he was already gone.
BPA tells KREM 2 News it's aware of the incident with one of its contracted security guards and is cooperating with law enforcement. Hitchens and other family friends say Franklin and his teenage son were near BPA to ride dirt bikes.
But the MX community really took the place over, and there was never, ever any problems riding there. You know, I've personally been riding out there, ridden right by sheriffs, and they never even pumped the brakes.
The sheriff's office reports witnesses saw a physical fight between Franklin, his son, and the security officer before the shooting. The investigation isn't over yet.
You know, hopefully through discovery, you know, the full story will come out.
Until then, Hitchens is preparing another ride to support his motocross family.
We're going to do our best to help support them.
The motocross park is planning some fundraisers for the Franklin family, including this Sunday. All of the fees that go for practice rides and donations from riders will go towards the family from this Sunday's ride. And we have also learned from family friends like Hitchens that Franklin's son, the other man shot, is recovering tonight from gunshot wounds to his leg and wrist. In Airway Heights, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.